If yesterday's FA Cup tie lacked a little bit of spice, maybe today's makes up for it. Charlton away. Probably could have got an easier draw. Yes, a trip to the Valley awaits us. Good news, it holds 27,000 fans. Hopefully it'll be close to being full, so we get a load of money off the back of it. But yes, Charlton are a pretty good team. Media prediction of 6th this year in League One. Have struggled as of late. They're currently down in 11th. Last year, they finished 3rd in League One, so they're quite good. But you know what? Then again, we're quite good too. We caused an upset last year. Let's see if history repeats itself. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back. It's episode number 13 of Park to Prem. Today we have the FA Cup second round to kick things off. If we win it, well, great, we'll do the third round today. If we don't win it, I'm probably going to play a load of Football Manager halfway through today's episode. Now, since last episode, just 4 games played. Some really good results in here. Let's look at some goals. Starting with this game against Eastleigh, Andy White opening up the scoring inside 5 minutes. By the end of this game, their goalkeeper had a knock and 2 of their defenders had a knock. I do feel like they were kind of the walking wounded in this game. We didn't show any mercy whatsoever. Again, White involved in the build-up play, involved in the goal, giving it to Thorndike for a second goal inside 5 minutes. And from there, we went on to get one more goal in the first half. 3-0 the first half finished. We won't talk about the second half. After that, 4-1 win against Barrow was great. Andy White with a brace again, and against Solihull Moors, a hero stood up. This game was 0-0 going into the latter stages. We battered them in the first half and couldn't score. In the second half, they were by far and away the better team, but that effort by Hume in off the post was the difference maker. 1-0 this game finished. Like I said, you can kind of see in the match momentum. Second half, until we scored, wasn't looking all that promising. But a win is a win. Sadly, a draw is also a draw. Yeah, in this game, Fylde came back from 2 goals down to draw 2-2. Their second goal was a banger. Actually, I take that back. It wasn't a banger. The commentator, the guy who says stuff along the bottom of Football Manager, he made it out like it was an absolute screamer. That's what happened. And they did score a second goal in this game in the 83rd minute. We held on for 2-1 for the vast majority of it, but caught on a high line. Rose not doing any saving in goal. But you know what? 4 games played, unbeaten, 3 wins. I'm going to look at the positives. We're still looking really good. Yeovil in that time won all their games, which is a tad bit annoying. They do still have a game in hand on us. That said, even if they were to win it, we would still be 8 points clear. And also, look in the top right. Look in the top right. Andy White, most player of the matches, second highest average rating, top goal scorer. Yeah, bad news. Teams have realised he's good. Yeah, at some point, I think when he turns 18 or 17, he will sign his first senior deal that he's already agreed to sign. I don't think there's a release clause in it. I hope there's not. But yes, things have been going really, really well of late. I feel like the league at this point is pretty clear we're a step above everyone else. Nevertheless, great to see us developing players like Andy White. I was going to tell you, let's have a look at the youth candidate preview. It's not actually come through yet. It says there's all Ds. I mean, that's because it's literally not come. It comes through in December, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or David's a moron, because he's giving everyone a D, and then in the top right, he says excellent intake. Could be a golden generation. I don't think David knows what's going on either. Greg here is Charlton's key player. He's a good defensive midfielder. I might be about to say something controversial here. I feel like Tyrese Forner's better. Okay, you know what? When you look at it like that, I don't look quite as crazy. Tyrese is very good. Then again, you'll notice there's some gaps when he should have been playing games. The reason for that, he keeps going on pissing international duty. Good news though, while everyone else in our league is playing league games, he's back for this FA Cup game today. And when you look at things, we are at full strength. Gabriel Overton, back from injury. I want to say back with a bang. I mean, he got an assist against Fylde and that was that. By the way, last episode's hero, Victor Musa, has appeared in 3 of the 4 league games we've played since last episode. He scored against Eastleigh. You might have spotted it. Didn't score against Barrow, did score against Fylde, and he's really starting to develop now. At this point, he might have overtaken Joe McGlynn in the pecking order. He will be on the bench for today's game. Fortunately, of course, we're allowed 9 players on the bench in the FA Cup. That is nice. In terms of the actual starting 11 today, I did rotate the team for the game that we drew recently against Fylde. Means that this team here is fully rested and hopefully ready to try and cause an upset. I will say I'm going to tick the next match only option here. and go to cautious. We've got to be a little realistic. Okay, Charlton away. I mean, in terms of FA Cup pre-third round draws you could get, Charlton is a pretty good one. Naturally, we're not going to go that far in the FA Cup year on year. And whilst the dream, of course, is a bit like last year to get West Ham away, getting a team like Charlton that holds, well, almost 28,000 fans at the Valley is a really good place to turn up to. It doesn't look like as much of a sellout as I was hoping for, though. I need seats in chairs, or bums in seats. Seats in chair. Good English. It's not very full today. That's annoying. You know what? We'll worry about the windfall after this game, especially because I've spent a lot of money since last episode, but we're not here to think about the money right now. The money will be nice after the game. What would be even nicer is a result here. Overton takes down the ball, gives it to Jaria, our right back. Can the kid get it into the box? He is very isolated in this wide area. Forner eventually cuts inside. Thorndike, Hume deflects off the defender. Could history repeat itself? Last year it was was it Portsmouth last year? Could it be Charlton today? We'll find out. Was it Portsmouth we beat last year? No, it was Reading. Other team that play in blue and white that I associate with League One. Well, that's awkward. Apologies to both sets of fans. I've just offended you all. As for the goal itself here, it's not going to be a classic, is it? It's deflected off the defender. I did worry that offside might be given there on Overton, but the flag wasn't raised. We're fine. I've noticed Charlton have got Will Mannion in goal. This guy used to be so good in Football Manager. Did you ever use Will Mannion? He used to be great. I feel like he was a bit of a wonder kid. I say, we'll use that term loosely. I think it was when he played for Hull. He had a lot of potential. He's 27 in this universe. He's not young anymore. I'll tell you what, we're 25 minutes into this game. We're looking really good. They've done nothing. We're not having a lot of the ball, but that is not the name of the game here. Ajaria cutting inside. Hume, do it again, son. Do it. Again, that's not what he did before. He's blazed that one over. Half an hour played in this game. Charlton have been absolutely shocking. I'm expecting more of them. I do question, are they rotating their team here? Are we being disrespected in the same way we were last year? I mean, if that is the case, I don't really mind as long as we get through. White to the AA. AA behind the cannon fires over. See what I did there? AA cannon. It's like anti-egg. It's clever. I'm just looking through their players here. Leeburn is playing up top. He's only started 4 league games for them. Karoy Anderson, he's played a few more games. These players that Charlton have don't look that good. Yeah, they are playing a rotated team against me, and I do feel a bit offended. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, at this point, if we now don't make it to the third round, I'm going to be annoyed because I'm witnessing the fact they're playing their youth products against us and their youth products not as good as ours. Okay, halftime has come in this game. I almost said that preemptively, but there was no last-minute drama or highlights. They did have a couple of chances later on in the half. But as you can see from the XG story, it's a story where we are dominant. Going to tell the players I'm happy. Keep it up. Thorndike on a booking scares me. That's been one of our better performers so far. I do wonder at what point they're going to start to sub on some of their actual players. They've subbed on this guy against me. What? I can see why they're doing so badly. What are Charlton doing? Do they not know that we've won the FA Cup 5 times? We've won it 3 times in a row. Yeah, it was 150 years ago. They need to show this competition more respect. They have now switched to a 4-2-4. Lee Goff here they've now brought on. They really don't give a hoot, do they? Here I am trying to sexify a game against a League One club, and they're just unsexifying it by playing children. Also, White's got injured. All right, you know what? If in doubt, bring on Victor Musa. I'm going to play him out on the right-hand side. I know he's left-footed on the right. It worked last time. We'll keep doing it. Both our fullbacks are on bookings. The kids need to come off. They need to calm down. Also, I've still got the height column from the goalkeeper incident. If you didn't see last episode, you don't know what happened with the goalkeeper incident. You don't need to know. Charlie Whittaker on for Thorndike. Thorndike's played well. He's on a booking. Last thing I need right now is going down a man. How much added time is there going to be at the end of this game? 7 minutes! I mean, I don't know what's gone on, but half our team's got booked there. I'm just looking for the time in the top left to keep on ticking. Why is there a highlight with 3 minutes left? Charlton have played better in this second half. They're going for their gung-ho all-out attack. I've not really looked to change things because I feel like we match up quite nicely against it. Overton gives it to Louis Jackson. Back now with Overton. Jackson to Hume. Make them chase the ball. Make them chase shadows. Forder through the middle. Gives it wide to Johnson. The fullback on off the bench. Puts it on a plate for Overton and he's just dropped the plate on the floor. That should have been a goal. Thankfully, it's not going to cost us. This game here finishes 1-0. A goal that was probably an own goal, the difference maker. Not a classic, But we're in the third round. And unlike last episode where I left you in suspense, I just want to get straight to the draw. Who are we going to have? How bad is Andy White's injury? 2 to 3 days. I can live with that. Hume, man of the match. I mean, I'll be honest, he didn't really have much to do, but I guess he scored the goal in a 1-0, so someone has to get man of the match. All right, when is the FA Cup third round draw? Football Manager, why do you not tell me? We didn't cause the shock of the draw. Apparently, Fylde did by beating Peterborough. I mean, suddenly our draw against them midweek doesn't look so bad. Yes, I need to talk about the money situation. Good news, I think we've just made about £100,000 against Charlton. Not the craziest sum of money. You'll notice lots of money vanished in the last month. I've not been laundering it, I swear. Instead, we spent it all. It says on ground maintenance, we're upgrading our training facilities. Don't know why that comes under ground maintenance, but yeah, you can see here, improving our training facilities, going to be done in around May time. Looking forward to having that done. Of course, our youth facility is already good. Taking our training facilities up a notch, I think, is smart. And whilst I could have sat on the money or looked to spend it on players, I just feel like long-term infrastructure development now is probably going to be very important. Because once we hit the Championship and the Premier League only signing English players, I think things will get particularly difficult. Cambridge step up interest in Pi. £275,000 for my backup left back. That would be kind of hard to say no to. Look, I know there's the Pike fan club out there, and I know on paper Aaron Allen isn't as good, but I feel like the kid has shown that he could hold down the fort as our left back for at least another 6 months. If we sell Pie in January, I feel like we'd be fine. Okay, third round of the FA Cup, 32 matches to be drawn. Oh, the draws take so long in this game. I hate clicking on the advance to me option. It really kills the suspense of the draw. But if you turn the speed up and hit play, I'm not being funny, it just takes too long. Like poor Stuart Pearce, he's going to be having grey hairs and ageing by the time we come out, unless we come out against Burton, which we've not. I guess I could either leave on this automatic draw where we could get Middlesbrough. No, we've not. You know what? Instead of doing that, I'll just do, is it next team? If I hit advance, does it just draw all the teams? Oh, this is far better. Man City. Man City would be good. We're not getting Man City. Who are we going to get? I'm just mashing continue. Watch me miss it. I thought we were going to get West Ham again. That would have been funny. I just want Premier League opposition. That's all I really want at this point. I'm a simple man. Away against a Premier League side, please. I mean, we've not come out yet, so that's good. Liverpool, that would be fun. Never mind. It's going to be really anticlimactic when we come out against a really bad team. Imagine Maidenhead away. Can you imagine? I mean, there's only 10 more games to be drawn. Have they definitely put our name in the hat here? Are we sure we're in here? Manchester United versus Wanderers. Yeah, imagine. Oh, we're at home. Who could we get? Arsenal, Villa? I mean, a home game isn't as, well, potentially lucrative because you don't get, obviously, as many ticket sales that get split 50-50. I'd like Arsenal, please. I mean, I've got Premier League opposition. It's Southampton. Obviously, we've never played against them before. I think last episode I actually went in on Russell Martin and described Eastleigh as playing like Russell Martin's Southampton team out from the back. I feel like this was just meant to be, wasn't it? Right, that game is scheduled for the 4th of January, so I'm going to go play some Football Manager. I'll join you shortly. Okay, it's January. The transfer window's opened. 10 bids. For one player, Andy. No, I don't want to sell him. 14 leadership, great determination, okay teamwork, captain in the making, and he's got some offers from some pretty big teams here. Premier League, Nottingham Forest and Brighton are looking at him on trial in the case of Brighton. The biggest offer we've had is only £145,000. I can't help but feel like he's going to be worth much, much more than that once he signs his first ever senior deal. Ideally, he signs that deal in April, and then I can just throw a load of money in him and tie him down on a super mega long-term deal. I mean, look, even if he wasn't 16, I don't think I could sell him in January simply because he's our top goal scorer. Of course, if the inevitable happens and the board accept a bid over my head, it's a slightly different story. The good news is, despite all these bids that have come in for him, it only says he's got like a slight interest in talking to Nottingham Forest. He's not saying he's going to have a hissy fit if I reject them all. So I'm going to reject them all and hope he doesn't have a hissy fit. I just feel like I can't afford to sell him, and I feel like his value is only going to go up from here. Could improve a lot. The fact Premier League teams are looking at him is immediately like a big kind of green flag. Also, he is now listed as our key player. I can't lose him, can I? Especially because without him in this recent run of games, we'd be a lot worse off. Yeah, looking at things here, we have not been convincing. We managed to beat Sevenoaks 6-1 in the FA Trophy. The 4 preceding league games ahead of today's game against Southampton. 1-0, 1-0, 2-1, 1-0. Scraping wins. Some of those wins that we've scraped have been games like this one against Halifax, where it's been very even and a 50-50 game where a moment of brilliance has, well, been the difference maker. And then there's been other 1-0s like this one against Gateshead, where we absolutely dominated the game. George Dowling scored in almost the last minute to give us the win. Nevertheless, you know what? 4 wins is 4 wins. We look good at the top of the table. 15 games left of the league season. January transfer window is open. I have been looking at some players. I was looking here at players with contract status expired, sorting them by reputation, then scouting a lot of these players. Some of these guys are really good. Mikel Antonio was available, but he also wanted to be a scout, and with respect to him, not a good scout. Corley Woodrow is another player available. I know he used to be a wonder kid years ago in Football Manager. Very, very good player, the 31-year-old, but just asking for a bit too much. And I'm not sure a big upgrade on what we've already got. Of all the players I've got listed here, there's one man who I'd love to sign, and it's Reece Williams. This guy, 24 years old, English. I mean, he is far, far too good for our level. Doesn't think we can match his financial demands at the moment. There's interest in him. I hope that no one bids on him. This guy, if we could sign him, is the kind of centre-back who can maybe play with me all the way to the Championship. And I don't think that's getting carried away. Released by Liverpool, hasn't found a club for 6 months. Just need him to keep lowering his expectations. Anyway, speaking of low expectations, today's game against Southampton is one where, at home against them, I'd like to think we can maybe cause an upset. Against Gateshead, I did rotate the team. It should mean for this game, we are fully rested. I say it should mean we're fully rested. We are fully rested. I can fill up the bench with some more players. Let's do that quickly. I will have a goalkeeper on the bench as well. In terms of team selection for this game, though, it's the full-strength team. Overton back in the team with White and Thorndike. Look at that, the Trinity with a little nice green triangle between them. Our back three as well, now starting to settle well down together and play well. Deborah had a slow start to his time at the club. Last few games, he's really strung together some great form, which is good to see. And as for Callum Hume, he has been a match winner in a few games. 4 goals this year, definitely a decline compared to last year. I think that's a reflection of the fact that around him, we've got a lot more good players. He's not having to do the heavy lifting anymore. Then again, a moment from him in this game today might be a difference maker. Of course, he scored in that previous game. We're going to hope we can keep things going here. The reality is, against Premier League opposition, this is probably, I don't want to say it too loudly, but it's probably where our FA Cup dream for the year comes to a head. We've won our last 5 games in a row. Southampton, are they playing a team of players I recognise? Are they rotating things around? I think there's a little bit of rotation here, but they have got Pedro Neto in their team. That's right, according to Football Manager, Pedro Neto will leave Chelsea for Southampton for £2.2 million next summer. Okay, well, safe to say they're not pulling any punches, are they? They are really going for it in this game, Southampton. We're going to have to be at our best. We're at home for this game. I'm still going to go to the cautious mentality that served us well in that last one. I'm happy for them to have the ball. We'll look to hit them on the counter-attack. White is good in the air. Overton's got some pace. I feel like that's kind of the name of the game. We're approaching half an hour played it. They've not had a shot on target until now. That one's hit the post. They've still not had a shot on target. Southampton are having a lot more of the ball than us, but we've actually had 6 shots of our own. We're not being completely outclassed here. It's only a few minutes left of the half. This is going far too well. Does anyone else feel like they've seen this movie before? This is exactly what happened against West Ham, isn't it? I told the defence I was delighted and Jack Kingdon has got switched off. Whatever that means. Was wondering if I wanted to make any tactical changes at half-time. You know what? I'm going to bring in Whittaker for Thorndike. Thorndike's played a lot of games lately. Whittaker's form has hit kind of rock bottom again, where he's been super patchy. He's been a hero for us before. Loves important matches. This is a big one. Just in general, though, Southampton yet to have a shot on target. If we could take this match to a replay at St Mary's, even if they go on to absolutely destroy us, that would still be quite good. They brought an MS Destan up top. Again, the 23-year-old here, way better than any of my players, and yet they're not finding a way through. Southampton now go into a 4-3-3. They are going on the attack. They have not done anything. 63% of possession, but they simply cannot break us down. Is this just going to be a highlightless second half? The answer's no. We've got a free kick. Hume hits the crossbar. That was a chance. 10 minutes left of this game. Fresh legs needed. Pye on you come. Travis Johnson on you come. I feel like the wing-backs are the first position I like to change. Callum Jones I'm going to bring on in midfield as well. I've got one more sub if I want to use it. Andy White looking tired. Victor Musa, come on down. The FA Cup hero previously. Can he do it again? I mean, not score 4 goals, just score 1 goal is fine. There's 5 minutes left here. Is this going to a replay? Why did I say anything? Pye, bringing the ball forward on the near side. There are options in the middle to aim for. Gives it to Overton. Can he find a pass? It's a penalty, surely. Jackson shoots. It's saved. Bazunu collects for them. There's 1 minute left. We have gone toe-to-toe against Southampton. They have not been able to break us down. We've caught them on the counter-attack on occasion. And it's the more now to happen here. Rivera gifts it to Musa, who should finish. He's bottled it. He's actually bottled it. I'm so upset. I thought he'd skied it. It was safe. We now do have a chance from the corner. Hume is going to be aiming this towards the near post. I've changed up our corner routine. We now have 3 players all attack the near post and hope that in the fracas, we come out with the ball. Can we make it happen? No, we can't. I mean, look, there's 2 minutes of added time. This is going to a replay. We are going to play Southampton again. Joe Rose gets a 7.3. He didn't have a save to make. Bazunu for them got man of the match, and I have to fear that we've just missed an opportunity to beat them. That was Russell Martin's birthday, by the way. Birthday to forget. Sorry, Russell. I've ruined his birthday. Okay, look, the replay is scheduled for the 15th. Originally, I was wondering if I should do it in this video, but I've actually got a lot of stuff to do today, to the point where I can't really afford to spend another half an hour just getting to that game and playing it. So you know what? Tomorrow, ending the week with a bang, Southampton away, and potentially a load of Football Manager in between. Could be a youth intake vibe as well. Look at the preview. Look at it. That's a reason to come back tomorrow. Of course, if we now win in the FA Cup 3rd round replay, the FA Cup 4th round instead of an intake will happen. But I'm going to be realistic, probably not going to be the reality. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments, would you sell Andy White? How much would you sell him for? How should I react if the board sell him above my head? I'd love to know your thoughts. Next episode is going to be an absolute banger. Hope to see you for that next time. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you there. I'm out.